So this is Ryan. Ryan never grew older than 7 years old. And I'm Sophie. I am also in my early 30s, and I'm French. You're from the US. We used to live in Stockholm, and that's where we left from on our sailboat. Pull a seal, a Beneteau Oceanis 40. Ta-da!
So, how we learned to sail? Well, we decided to learn to sail when I was injured, actually. The only time we could keep this project going was to sail in the winter, so we found a school in Gibraltar. We found a sailing school there, did a 2-week sailing school with the RYA, the Royal Yachting Association, and it was just Sophie and I on the boat, and we did that purposely so we could see if we liked sailing and if we liked each other sailing. And then afterwards we bought Polar Sail.
Well, I mean, the adventure itself started in Stockholm when we decided to pursue this. Then it took us to Gibraltar where we learned how to sail. And throughout our course, we had the opportunity to sail a little bit to Spain, to Morocco, and then we went back to Sweden and we decided to buy the boat. We bought the boat in the UK, so we flew to the UK to check the boat. About it there. We didn't sail the boat back from the UK to Sweden because we were highly incompetent at that time. and yeah, we sailed for 2 years in Sweden, and we started our little sail around the world adventure from Stockholm 2 years ago. Oh, wow.
That changes a lot, I guess. I would say our initial project was to do an Atlantic circuit. We were just gonna leave Stockholm for a year, sail down, cross the Atlantic, do a season here, and then sail back. And then the project kind of got bigger, and we said, well, why don't we just live on the boat for a while? Not make it a year, let's make it a few years. So now, we've been on the boat now full time for 2 years.
That's right.
And it's gone so fast. So our project is just kind of an ongoing thing, I guess, of exploring.
Yeah. I think though that at the base of this, the project was to build a life that is a little less by default and be a little more in control of where it is that we go and what we do, and make our own choices.
Yeah.
And enjoy life while we are
young.
Ish.
Yeah.
And healthy. A lot of people who want to do this try to have a very solid plan of how it's going to look financially before the takeoff. And what we did was a mix of having savings, but also develop activities that we can earn from. So you have a business and you work remotely and you do other things. And I make little YouTube videos, which was not a job at first, but it became one.
Like you said, we really afford it because we're working.
Yes. I mean, essentially, Ryan is my sugar daddy.
Yeah, it's true. So that's how we do it. I think we have a little different views on this. I am more apt to take a boat hitchhiker or someone we don't know. We haven't taken people that we don't know, but we've taken people that we do know and it hasn't gone well.
Yes.
Or you're a little bit more particular about who we take.
Yes.
And I'm a little bit more, I don't really care as long as they're going to work hard.
Okay, here's my stance. I think that as long as you come on board with the right attitude, then you're welcome. But I enjoy having crew around.
I think it can go both ways. I mean, you can have a really crappy hitchhiker come on your boat, and the hitchhiker can also have a really crappy captain that they're working for.
Yes.
So I think it's a two-sided thing, but I think as long as people work hard, it doesn't matter.
I think that it's always easier to continue on the path that you're on because you know it, but the reward of deviating from that path and trying something new is absolutely amazing. And the day that if one day you were to regret going on that adventure, you can always go back.
I think we have seen all different types. So we've seen people in wheelchairs that are sailing around the world. We've seen 90-year-old men sailing solo around the world. Some of our best friends are people who have absolutely no money, literally can barely buy food for the week for themselves, sailing around the world, doing just fine. And we've met really rich people that also sailing around the world and maybe aren't having as much fun. There are people that get by all of those roadblocks, that mental barriers are sitting in front of you. Like, I don't have the finances right now. It's not the right time. It's not this. It's never going to be at the right time, and you're never going to have enough money. The hardest thing with doing a project like this is leaving the dock.
Yes.
So when you leave, like, I remember the day we left the dock, it was so emotional, and some friends of ours said, what you need to do is leave, and if you go sail 2 miles out and anchor, that's fine, but you've left. Like, you just need to leave. You just gotta go. Just do it.
Yeah, and also like we literally come from desks, office jobs, and zero sailing experience. So if I can do it, like literally anyone can. Literally anybody. Oh yes, all the time. Especially
right now, like in this lockdown, we've been told that you're so lucky you're on a boat. It's a little different situation.
One of my favorite quotes in life is, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And you and I worked a lot to get here, and we invested a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of emotional energy into this project, and it looks pretty dreamy when you look at photos of crystal clear blue water, but it's only one part. The other part is life becomes mundane as well on our side.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And also, I mean, I have to say that I do consider myself a little lucky.
Yeah,
I mean, it was lucky that I met you, you know, on Tinder. I have one. So we're in the Kiel Canal. Yeah, you know. We're in the Kiel Canal, and there is 6 knots speed limit. It's either 5 or 6. But there is this boat in front of us, and it's going just like half a knot slower than us. And so we know that at some points we're going to have to pass that boat. And so we approach the boat from behind. And so I'm sitting at the helm, and Ryan is like, oh, that guy on the German boat next to us, he doesn't have a shirt. And I get up to have more visibility, and I look at, oh my God, he doesn't have pants either. And it took us half an hour to pass that boat, and he was like just a few meters away, like having no shame whatsoever that I was just like 4 meters away from him.
Let's see, a scary moment though to think. The one that sticks out the most in my head is when we were crossing Biscay, and we were in the middle of the night, and but we were sailing pretty deep downwind, and we caught a wave just wrong, and the boat jibed, spun itself around, and there was no moon. It was super dark, and after the boat spun, we had no idea which way we were facing, and the other crew member we had on deck, we were just like yelling at each other, which way? The wind is that way. No, it's that way. No, I'm looking at the thing, the wind is that way. And then finally we got it all squared away, and like off sailing we went, and my legs were like shaking after that. But when we arrived and we were talking about it, it was kind of funny. We were just like screaming about. Arriving in the Caribbean was pretty powerful too. I remember like when we arrived here in the Caribbean on January 1st, like the sun was just rising, and you know, for 2.5 weeks we'd smelled like the smell of salt water in the sea and fish on the deck that we had caught, and Sophie's cooking. But we hadn't smelled like smells of land. And I remember that morning when the sun came up and we could see Martinique, and like this, you could smell the flowers. But that was super powerful for me. Like, holy crap, we didn't smell this when we left, and now we do.
We have this YouTube channel that I started because my friends were laughing a little bit at me when I told them that I was going to leave on my sailboat with this guy that I had met on Tinder a few months before, and I just wanted to make everybody laugh. And eventually I really get into videography. I really like to goof around, so I continued this YouTube channel called Ryan and Sophie Sailing. This is Ryan, and I am Sophie. It's a very far-fetched name. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, consider subscribing. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you.